Speaker. Greetings. This is Skylar Saunders Singh. What's current? All right. Today is, a switch up. I'm not doing the phone. I'm doing the MacBook. MacBook's working. Everything's going well. It didn't go blank. Usually when it goes blank, but everything is working now. It's got a HD camera on this particular broadcast, so it should be a better experience for you. Now, let me get through my advertising. Check out my main man Peng, his lifestrongapparel.com. That's LIFESTRONGAPPAREL.com. There you can find multiple fitness gear. You can find sea moss infused fruits. I've had the blueberry. It's banging. I've tried it already. You should try it too. There's also other flavors like mango. So check him out on his site, lifestrongapparel.com, and tell him that Goofy Scholar Saunders sent you. Also, I have BEEJACKSON5478 on YouTube. B Jackson. He's got sardines on the grill, fried chicken, near beer reviews, and all just with a great personality and a great sense of humor. So I definitely suggest you go check him out on YouTube, B Jackson, and tell him that Goofy Scholar Saunders sent you. Again, another sponsor, Spirit Smooth Tunes, SPIRITSMOOTHTUNES on YouTube. He has a catalog of various artists, such as, or may not all be included, but they're like them: Kim, Najee, Whitney Houston, Peebo Bryson, the Gap Band, the Fatback Band, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and so much more. You can cozy up with that special person, your romantic partner in your life, have some wine, get a fire going, have something special, going on. Something like tonight or tomorrow, Friday or Saturday, even Sunday or Thursday. It doesn't matter what day. Just make sure you listen to those songs and tell them that Goofy Scholar Saunders sent you. Also, Dot Focus, DOTFOCUS _1_, just not like the full bar, just 1_. He is on twitch.tv. It's twitch.tv/DOTFOCUS 1_. He has a first-person shooter game. I sometimes come in on the live, and he's like, "Oh, it's Skylar Saunders on the live. Oh man, that's what's up." Like, he gets really excited. I appreciate him because he definitely supports this machine. So I appreciate his input every time. So definitely suggest that you go to his gaming page and tell him that Goofy Scholar Saunders sent you. Also, if you want to advertise or sponsor yourself, just go to SKYLERSAUNDERS@gmail.com. ScholarSaunders@gmail.com. And we can work out a pricing. It's going to be in the 3 digits. But we can work out something that'll fit both our bank accounts. So I appreciate that. Also, how you do that is you can expand my bank account or help expand it by going to Cash App. That's $SKYLERSAUNDERS 1. I'll say that again. That's $SKYLERSAUNDERS 1. Venmo is at Skylarized, at SKYLERIZED. And also PayPal, paypal.me/SKYLERSAUNDERS. All right. Let's get the gettins. Let's do this. Okay, so I listened to Latto's Miss Mulatto is the full name. She has a lot of names. She has different names, but it's either Miss Mulatto or Latto. I didn't have a problem with it. I think it's just what is du jour. It's of the day. It's of the day. That's what I think is going on. Female rappers, they love to talk about their female genitalia and that is uh, uh talking about how how hydrated it gets, how moisturized it gets, how you know um you know I guess liquidy it gets. But she's it's a very interesting album. It's very interesting. I have my notes here. Um, she had one. It's a 2 disc effort. It's 2 discs. So I don't know how they break down the different uh tracks. I don't know if they're going to say it's a full one and count it as one or count it as the double, because there's no really telling really what they say. Do you have to have a certain amount of songs on a double album? Do you have to have a certain amount on each of the the track listing? I don't know. That's out of my purview, but I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and anybody waiting for Lauryn Hill, to come in and say some fly gangster, stuff like, I mean gangster, just cool, whatever, fly stuff, talking about the differences between being a woman and a female, and the differences between man and a male, and selling what she sell, like 20 million albums. Like, she didn't have to come out with any songs. She's good. I think she's good for the rest of her life. If you sell 20 million albums, that's pretty much charts you as somebody that is already good. But nobody's doing Lauryn Hill. It's more like I'm pee popping, I'm bouncing my rear end, and he liking it and everything like that. It's like, that's what it is. That's what's going on today. You have Saweetie, you have Megan Thee Stallion, you have Ice Spice, you have Cardi B, and so many others. Glorilla, Sexy Red. They're all vying for that top spot as the best female lyricist. And I got to give it to Latto. She really put in the work this album. She really put in the work. She put in that extra time that it takes to really engage with the audience and really understand what it means to be a complete artist. I have a song, Big Mama. Big Mama is a lot of fun. Big Mama is one of the tracks on the first disc, or not disc, but the first track listing. She definitely declares herself. She's letting her people know who she is and what she's about. That's always good. I always like that. That it's bravura, and I say brava to her. I say it's brava. Let me see. Shrimp and Grits is a lot of fun. That's a good play on it reminds me of a blues record, Shrimp and Grits, because it's got that southern feel to it. It's got that I'm playing with the words, like I'm saying shrimp and grits, but it's like something else. It's like I'm talking about eating something else in a different way. So she's talking about shrimp and grits in a totally different, playful kind of way. Completely countrified. She was born in Columbus, Ohio, but she grew up in Georgia, and she was actually bullied and made fun of because of her fair complexion. Her mother is white and her father is African American, so she had it in her, literally in her genes to be light skinned, and that is evil. I mean, you can't win. There's no win. You're gonna get bullied no matter what. You're too dark, you're gonna get bullied. You're too light, you're gonna get bullied. If you're medium skin, you might get bullied. Or some kids are gonna find a way. They're gonna find a way to point out your weaknesses and see what you can do. But the beauty of it is, I like how she flipped it on everybody. She took it, another route, and said, "Look, I'm not gonna take this lightly. I'm gonna say I'm mulatto. I'm Miss Mulatto. I'm Latto. That's my name. I'm gonna claim that. I'm gonna claim the fact that I'm light skinned, that I'm of mixed races. I'm biracial. I'm actually gonna claim that. So I have to respect that about her." I said it's another take on sex, Southern style. That's Grit, what is it? Shrimp and grits. Shrimp and grits, definitely got to have that. Okay, so uh, So we don't do shout outs in the haterverse. We say salute, but she had a song called S/O or shout out to myself, and it is a very reminiscent, idealized song that reminds me of Drake a lot, like the cadence and like the content of the song itself reminds me of Drizzy. Like she had a Drizzy moment, like, and it's good. It's like one of his timestamp raps. You know, that's what it reminded me of. So I definitely, I think it's a great selection. I think it's a great example of selfishness. It's a great example of the virtue of selfishness and how good it is and how great it can be. And even though I think of rap and hip hop as Eminem, mysticism, narcissism, and mercantilism, I can at least take in the points that it's striving to be. It doesn't have something underneath it. It's got like a whole car without the chassis. It's got big rims. It's got, candy paint. It's got plush, seating and everything like that. But it doesn't have it has a great engine, got a drivetrain. It's got everything like that. But there's no floor. There's nothing underneath. You're essentially being like a Flintstone, with hip hop. That's what it reminds me of anyway. So that's just something else. I liked how she used various men of hip hop, past, that's the thing too. That I'm getting very old. I'm the old man on the porch, waving my fist, saying, "Kids, get off my lawn, get off my lawn," because now it's like taking somebody else's work and making it your own. So that came from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So all the 90s was like 60s, 70s, and 80s. 2000s was like 70s and 80s. 2000 teens were like 80s and 90s, mid 90s. And now, in the 2020s, it's pretty much all 90s and early 2000 teens. And 2000s, even 2000s, I would say. It's 20 years, so she's got songs from Mike Jones, T.I., Outkast, which is a great acknowledgement and a head nod, a nod to her Georgian roots, her roots in the South. And I just thought, it gelled well. I don't have any. It's not like it's flawless, but it's damn near flawless. I mean, it was a very well constructed, well thought out album. And your enemy is my friend. You know how they say your enemy, the enemy of your enemy is your friend. Well, your enemy is my friend because she has a back and forth with Megan Thee Stallion and you know different people. I think she admires Nicki Minaj. I think that's what she does. She has a place in her mind for Nicki Minaj, but she doesn't say it. But or I should better say, my friend is your friend. Even though they were on the song together. Megan Thee Stallion and what's her name? On Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. They formed they're pretty much cool. They had the WAP song, a few years ago. They're pretty much cool. You're on good terms. So I just appreciate that. I just appreciate the fact that she can link up with other female artists and they can talk about sex and drugs and stuff like that. She's keeping it true to herself. She's not saying she pushed weight back in, '08 or, something like that when she was like 10 years old. She's not talking about anything like that. She's talking about having sex and enjoying life and, getting money. Like, what's wrong with that? That's two of the best things in the world. Earning, being creative, being a person that works, and a person that enjoys sexual gratification. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you're, they're all of age. That's one of the best things. You know, Ice Spice, Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red, all of them are above the age of 18, so they can have these lyrics. So I do appreciate that fact. Um, so she's got. Let me make 100% sure. I'm just checking out one quick thing. I'll be right back. Yeah. So okay. So I see it now. Okay, I understand. I had to make sure about one thing. I had to make sure about one thing. But now it's clear. Yeah, so Lotto is in that category. She's got bars. She's not just a lightweight trying to get on the scene. She's on beat. She has pretty much depth to her lyrics. She talks about even more than just booty popping and twerking, even though that's part of her her ideal. And most of the females in hip hop right now are all about that. Um, Not a bad thing. I mean, that's what it is. Females popping the booty. What's wrong with that? Um, uh, I mean, if they're getting money, that's what the beauty of it is. That's what makes it wonderful. So I have one person in here. Tell one other person, but don't tell two people. Whoever you are, come into the chat room. Come into the live chat. I need that Cash App, that Venmo, and that PayPal. Come on now. Don't be afraid. But Lotto is the truth. Lotto is reality. Lotto is somebody that is a problem, and I mean that in a good way. She's an issue. I'm, there's a few people that dropped today. Post Malone dropped today. Gucci Mane dropped today, and Lotto dropped today, and I think a few other people dropped today. But I just wanted to go, say Lotto sound and give my little my two cents into the fray, and see what happens with that. I think she is a special artist. I think she represents something that's big. I mean, I read in her bio on Wikipedia. She was a drag racer. What is that about? She was in drag racing. She said, "I want to rap now." Now, drag race. Do you okay? Regular driving. I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah. I like to drive." Lotto drag racing. That's crazy. She was a drag racer. That's wild. That is interesting. That just adds to her character. That adds shades to her character. Okay, I got 2 likes, 0 people in here. What's going on? What's the case, kids? What's going on? I use my phone. I'll get up to 40 to 50 people on the live. But this is the live. I have a HD camera. It's widescreen. It's not like the little box with the two sides with the silhouette on the phone. Trying to go HD here again. Like I've been doing for almost a year, and then the the issue came with the live stream happening on my MacBook, and it just went crazy. Anyway, Lotto is the truth. Lotto is real. I really like her. I like her presence. I like how she, does interviews. She's very, calm and collected and cool. I don't know if that's because of media training. Doesn't matter. She doesn't. She handles herself well. Um, and this album, it should launch her. It's her. I think it's her third studio album. Let me make 100% sure about that. Yeah, she had Queen of the South. like South, Souf, of duh, not the THE, duh, DA, South. Then 777, like you hit the lotto. Then sugar, honey, iced tea, which everybody knows the initials of each word on that is, of course, shit. So she was very, able to do that. So she's got tracks too. She's got tracks. She's not like a one hit wonder. She's got her songs. So it's very impressive. She won a TikTok award in Thailand for her 2023 song Seven with Jungkook, International Song of the Year. Just think about that. She was the Global Push Artist of the Month for February on MTV in 2021. I doubt they even do that anymore. Hold on. This is a Guinness World Record? She has a Guinness World Record. Most streamed track on Spotify in 1 week. Male Jungkook. Fastest time for a music track to reach 100 million streams on Spotify. Male. I don't know why they're saying male when it's her and she was on the song. I don't understand that. But anyway. That's interesting. But it just kind of, it didn't shock me. It didn't say like, oh, that was a hard bar. But I was just like, okay, that was decent. I'll take that. I understand what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from there. And of course, that, like I said, they have to tell about how saturated their genitalia gets. She says it in different spots though, different places on the song. I'm saying, and she said about certain things. Like she said, I think she said when I see a white Ferrari, she gets that special action in her panties. When she sees a white Ferrari. So that's what's very interesting to me. That's what gets me at a greater understanding of her artistry and what she wants to do with her life. That really impresses me. I think that's impressive that she distinguishes between what it means to be a complete and whole artist. Like she's 3 albums in. She's 3 albums in. And studio albums, not like EPs or anything like that, or mixed. I don't think she has any. Let me see. Does she have any mixtapes? She has 3 mixtapes, 3 EPs. So those were the EPs. Okay, so let me see. She's a platinum artist times 1. Wow, the big energy was crazy. 3, 2, 3. She's platinum off of singles, off of songs. I don't see any platinum registered for albums. That's different. That's kind of different. But yeah, so it's just a fun. Just put it on now, especially it's in the summer. It dropped in the summer. If you're in the East Coast, you're in the West Coast. If you're I guess it's the Western Hemisphere. It's summer. Just put this track on while you're driving. Put this song on when you're unloading crates at the ShopRite. If you're getting carts at Burlington like I used to do. Put this on. Put this in your earlobes. Put your beats earpieces in and put on Tidal or Spotify or Apple or whatever the case may be. However you get your music, make sure you listen to Latto because she has something to say. I like how she has varying degrees of having fun. She varies it throughout the record. She shows herself to be very mature, someone that knows what she's doing, says what she wants to do with life, and has that particular vernacular of speech, that southern drawl. She's like a southern belle, and it's special too because it's like, let me see, she might be one of. Let me see. Sexy Red is from Missouri, so that's the Midwest. So Weedy is from Santa Clara, California. Cardi B is, of course, from New York. Nicki Minaj is from New York. Where's Glorilla from? Glorilla is from Memphis, Tennessee. Okay, so she's from the South too. So they're two Southern belles, Saweetie and Latto. I don't even know if they are beefing or if they have tension or anything like that. I didn't find that in my research. Um, I could be wrong. You can get on your comment section and let me know. Correct me, like, oh, you dumb Sky, you don't know what you're talking about, whatever. But yeah, so I think that she has more than potential. She definitely has made it 3 albums in, and all those EPs and mixtapes. You know, she's definitely made a name for herself already. She doesn't have to prove anything. But I think this is going to take her to another level. You know, this is going to take her to a higher height, something that she wouldn't have imagined before, something that she couldn't have thought about. She would have been able to understand it even more if she had a partner in crime. Like she had very key features. Like they were pointed. They were like on purpose. She has like a formula to this. She's not just like saying, "Oh well, let me get in the studio and let me get with somebody else and get with them and see what we can do. Cook up something." No, she really put in the work to see what people and what producers and what engineers and everything like that could possibly make her the best album that she can make for right now. For right now, because she could have competition in just a few weeks, in just a few days, really. Um, but that's what I like about Latto. I do like that about Latto. I respect that about her. Um, she has the gift of gab. She has the gift of conveying a message that nobody else wants to know until they hear it. Then you're like, oh, I get it now. That makes sense. That makes sense. So she's at. I'm looking at Glorilla's charts, and she has songs with her even, and even with Gangsta Boo. Wow, before she passed away, that was extraordinary. Wow, I didn't even realize that before. But it's very special to know that we have this crop of female rappers. I think that's so cool. I think that's so cool that it's not just a sausage party, and it's not just a clam bake. It's a little mixture. You know, I love to hear the female perspective. And then most of them look very, very good. They look very sexy, dark skinned, light skinned, Asian, and white women. I'm taking it back. Who knows what song that was? Who had that song? Come on. Somebody say it. Somebody in the live chat say what song that was. Say what song that was. Who the artist was. All Gold Everything by Trinidad James. It's one of my favorite lyrics of all time. Like dark skinned, light skinned, Asian, and white women. That's a dope line. I don't care. He was pretty much a one-hit wonder. He blew his load and humbly backed out of the game. But it was worth it. But anyway, Latto. Latto is the truth. Listen to this album. She has very key references. Like I said, Outkast, Mike Jones, T.I. She had, to represent the South, for and that I think that was a very poignant choice that she made to represent for her own area and her own place in hip hop. So salute to her. All right, now I just got to promote myself. I don't care. Now I promote myself. One person in here in the live, not in the live chat, but in the live. But I'm talking about my story, fiction. The story is called Vessel Control Part 2. That's I. And you can go to vocal.media, type in VESSEL space CONTROL space part PART 2 I got real fancy and then put the number 2. Maybe that's the problem with not putting the number 2. But that's the main focus of that. It's very powerful. I have to tap myself on the back, and I just have to ask you a few questions. This is a few questions. What would you do if you had accomplished everything in your life? You're at the peak of health, the peak of great health. You're hale. You made achievement after achievement. You're decorated. You're an officer and on a space fleet, and you're the highest ranking member of the entire ship. What do you do? How do you contend with that? What is the next step? That is the question that I ask in this story. So I ask you right now, what is the next step to take when it comes to being great, it comes to being wonderful, it comes to being the best? And that's it, the highest ever. Decorations that look like light hitting water and oil splashed on the sidewalk or on the gutter. Just chest candy, just a lot of colors on your chest, and you're in a sharp, stark white dress mess uniform. That's what I'm talking about. And then you have a female, a captain. She is the second in command. She's the second highest ranking officer on the ship, and she is definitely supposed to be the anchor. She's the anchor for the story. I mean, not quote unquote. She's the anchor. They have naval designations, by the way. So she is in second in command. She's been in this command for a few years. They've both been in a lot of things together. You can read Vessel Control, the original story, after before you read Vessel Control Part 2, if you like. But I just have to get out Vessel Control Part 2 because this is for another shot at the gold. I had a silver with Vessel Control, and that got a few not likes, a few views, a few reads, as they like to call them, a few reads. But that's basically it. That that understanding of who and what the specific characters are and what they're trying to do. And there's a banquet. He's put in 35 years of service. 35 years is not a short amount of time to be in the service. That's pretty much long. A lot of people get out 10, 20 years, if they even do that. Some people get out 4 years. Some people get out in more than 35 years. Sometimes you get out in 40. Some people have gotten out in 50 or more. But that's very rare. That's a very rare distinction. But yeah. So they throw him a ball. He goes to it. He talks. But you have to see why he talks and what he talks about, and see the reason behind his words, and what he sees when he goes. He can't quite see over the lights, and he sees some two people in the audience that mean a lot to him, that visited the ship, that docked on the ship, and he wasn't surprised by it. He knew it was happening, but he wasn't sure who else was going to be there. So you have to take that into account. But overall, it's a definite way of honoring somebody of his his magnitude, of his great stature, as a lion of space, as a great man in uniform who put in the work for over 35 years. And the question is, what do you do after 35 years? That's the whole question to the story. You'll see what happens in the end. What happens when he decides on what to do following 35 years of service. And you see the captain. The captain's going to be with him for a good amount of time. She's going to, go to the control center, and it's going to be a very interesting ride for her. It's going to be a very interesting way of showing her respect, showing her dignity, showing her love and admiration to this man whom she found great energy and great wit and great understanding. He hails from Wilmington, Delaware. He came from the slums of Wilmington, Delaware, and rose up through the ranks and the officer ranks, all the way up to Rear Admiral, which isn't the highest rank. He's only 56 years old, technically. I mean, I'm saying only, but you can go up to about 60, mid 50s like he is, and he would probably be 60 or 61 years old if he is, if he continues to stay in, with the ship, with everything that has to do with being in the way of choosing to do what he wants to do. So that's the key to this whole story. Doing what you want to do. Do you have the wherewithal? Do you have the understanding? Do you have the manhood to do what he has to do? And he even says, I'm doing what I got to do. So just check in to see. Go to vocal.media. Look for Vessel Control Part 2. And like I said before, if you want to get a fuller understanding, read Vessel Control Part, the original Vessel Control. I actually earned $500 based on writing that story. That was amazing to me. Then I made another $500 with another story. And before that, I made $250. So I had $1,250 from a site that nobody knows about, nobody talks about. It's not on TV. It's not on other places on the internet. They don't really. It was just a Facebook advertisement. I don't think they advertise on Facebook anymore. All I see is free write. They want me to buy a typewriter without, not a traditional typewriter, like a digital typewriter. That's what they want me to do. I'm not about that life right now. So, but maybe one day I might use it. But that is the power of the word. That's the power of on the page. Power of the word on the page. You get to fall in love with your characters. You get to understand them better. You get to realize who they are, what they're trying to do, their motivations. You see what their dialogue is with other characters. You see the plot and the overarching theme of the piece. I'll say the overarching theme of this piece is finding out what you like to do when you have accomplished everything. That's the overall plot theme. plot theme is doing what you must do when you finally realize what you've accomplished. That's the plot theme. And the style, you guys can come up with the style. It's not for me to say. But I have characterization, and it's just a blast, figuratively and literally, because they're in rocket ships. And they're exploring the stars, and that's one thing that his name is Raymond Carr, and the captain's name is Melita Varine, and they just exchange words. They have let me make sure I say this word right. I mean. Okay, I wouldn't have said that right. Or maybe I would have. I don't know. Well, okay, so they were convivial towards each other, I would say. Um, the admiral and the captain, they had a different way of expressing themselves. And I think the major thing that happened with vessel control was because nobody used the story. Nobody used the story in the way I did. Everybody had a ship on a boat, on the ocean, or a tiny dinghy, or a massive, aircraft carrier. I could have said it on an aircraft carrier, but I wanted to, explore what you can't do on the high seas, and what you can do in space. That's what I wanted to do. So I think that's the reason why I won second place. I don't want second place. I want first place. I want gold. They say go for gold. Everybody says that. They said that about Olympics. It's like, well, at least you got bronze. Okay. Then this is what Jerry Seinfeld said. Silver medal. Oh my God, you're the first loser. Who wants that? But gold. Everybody wants gold. In sports, and in music, you want platinum. You want diamond. But in sports, you want the gold medal. In the world championships and things of that nature, and the Olympics, and I guess in writing, you get the gold medal, and you get gold when you're a Nobel laureate. You get a chunk of gold, Swedish gold, and millions of dollars in kroner from Swedish Foundation, from the Nobel Foundation, I think it is. The Nobel Prize organization. So that's what I'm striving for. I'm trying to get a Nobel one day. I said it here. I said it again. It's not a competition. It's not. You can't really say that I want that. Then I don't get it. You're usually 70 or 80 years old when you get the prize, or in your mid 50s or 60s. Unless you're Malala, who got the Peace Prize when she was 18. But for writing and medicine, physics, chemistry, economics, those are all difficult to achieve, or more difficult to be acknowledged for. You're in your 50s and 60s and 70s, sometimes your 80s and 90s, and you get it. And the other thing is about the Nobels. You don't get it posthumously. You don't get it after death. So you just have to live with it. And if you die, you die. If he dies, he dies. This is very interesting. I have 0 people in here. But if I use my phone, it's like 40 people, 50 people. I don't. Somebody sit down and explain this to me like a freaking 5-year-old. I'm like Barney. Explain this to me, please. I'd love to know. So that is the reason why I wrote this, because I first, if it doesn't get too late, I it makes sense to me and I get it all right. I was thinking about a slave ship, and the whole gist of the challenge, as they call it, is that there's a ship and somebody goes overboard. Somebody goes overboard on the ship. This is for vocal vessel control part 2. So I was thinking about some kind of slave rebellion on a slave ship, and go on from there. See what happens after that. And if it's not too late, I may still use that. But I just like the fact that I came up with vessel control part 2 with the same verve and energy and vim and purpose that I had when it came to understanding what it was for me to do the previous uh, effort. But I like this series. I could do a prequel. I could do something afterwards. Have what would happen to the characters later. So this is something that's very very crucial to me, and I think it'll be enlightening to you, and you will enjoy yourself reading exactly what I have written, because it's not really hard. It comes to me very simply. I'm that good of a writer. Never was a good student. I got C's and D's in English. Honors English and AP English. But the reason why I was even in honors English is because I got a 5, which is the top number you can possibly get out of 5 out of 5 on the state test for English for writing. So I was like, wait a minute, why am I in this CP class, college prep? Why am I in this college prep class when I can be in honors? So I took honors class. Then I did mediocre. I got various grades back. Give me a second. Hold on. Let me show you something. See this right here? You see that? It's a C. Assignment titled December 28th, 2003. So it was almost a full year after the American invasion of Iraq. And what was that? 2 years after invasion of Afghanistan. But a C, and that was my basically the best I could do until at the end when I had another shot, and that was nonfiction. That was I didn't have a lot of space until at the end of the year, or towards the end of the year, we had an opportunity to write a short story based on the Grapes of Wrath. We had an opportunity to write a short story based on the characters and what would happen in the Grapes of Wrath. I wrote a story, just came out of me, got a 93, A, it's an A minus, but 93 nonetheless. And I felt pretty good about that. And then I excelled to say, if I'm going to get A's on some of these things, I should go for a little higher then. Let me take this AP class. So I took an AP class in 11th grade. Same deal, there are some issues where we could talk about the Canterbury Tales, and I had a Canterbury Tale, that I made up myself, and I think I got an A on that, but everything else is like C's and D's off of tests and stuff like that. And I did poorly or with mediocrity, which I hate. I hate mediocrity, so I didn't really feel that. So I said, you know what? Let me bring it down to honors English again for my senior year. Senior year was very interesting. This is my August Wilson story because he had a story too. I was accused of plagiarism. Because I don't know. I was not. I was meek and mild and modest and humble at the time. I didn't have the moral fiber to say, you know what? Why? What would you think that I made this? My name is on it. It wasn't like a historic, like a nonfiction, essay or I don't even know the project. Just the projects. They usually call it the end of year projects. It's usually like 10 to 15 pages, something like that. And you got bib cards and um, references and everything like that. I didn't have any of that for the story. I was in the mountains of Virginia, I think it was, or near DC. Um, and I just wrote it when I was away from Delaware, and I looked at the sheet, and I just looked at her, and I was just like, I don't know. And I guess she called my dad, and like they had a conversation or something like that. But nothing ever really came up. I didn't, August Wilson has a better story. There's a black man. This is a white woman for me, but a black man said, "Okay, I have two grades here. I have an A and an E, which is the same thing as an F or failing grade. I'm gonna circle whatever grade you are if you tell me the truth." Something like, I'm just paraphrasing. But August Wilson just said, I wrote it, and the teacher, circled the E, and then August Wilson crumpled the page up and threw it in the trash and went outside and played basketball outside the principal's office. And he never went back to school. I couldn't do that, and it's a totally different age from the 1960s, or the 1950s. I think that might have been the 50s. So I couldn't do that. I couldn't go back. I couldn't go back to doing that. I couldn't say, definitely say, did you plagiarize it? Because I remember vividly what was it for. It was supposed to be an ideal understanding of King Lear and his three daughters, Goneril, Reagan, and Cordelia. And you had to, I think the prompt was you had to pick, reason why Cordelia was, so loyal to her husband. Excuse me, that was a slip. Her father, and while she was so, dejected from her sisters who were conniving and just want him for his property after he dies and stuff like that. And I just thought that she was just such a great character, and I was just really moved by her resilience and her power of understanding. So I wrote that whole thing over a weekend. I wrote it over a weekend, and it didn't have. I didn't have a problem. I obviously didn't plagiarize it, but she went up to me and she's like, "Did you write this?" I'm just like, "Yes." Like, that's the only thing I remember saying. I just said, yes, of course. I did not plagiarize it. I've never plagiarized anything in my life. I've written for other people. I've written for classmates before, but I've never, plagiarized. But that's just ghostwriting. But yeah. So it turned out all right. I mean, I graduated, everything went on well, whatever. But I don't know where that story is. I would love to read that story. I had, like I said, I had the C, paper down there still. But I would just love to get my hands on it. It's probably like a great and brilliant and genius Ayn Rand, and August Wilson's a genius too. But she said, I think it was think it was Tom Snyder who asked her, what happened to, to the work she might have had from school. She said it's probably bombed out of existence. That's probably what happened to my story about Cordelia. But I didn't. Of course, I did not plagiarize. I would not. I would never do that. I mean, I'm too. And I'm glad that I'm able to write and show that I am worthy of doing that. And now it's crazy right now because who isn't plagiarizing besides myself? But you have AI, you have artificial intelligence, you have all these different ways of running games on people and showing people that you actually did something that you really didn't. So that's really strong. But I have to say, Vessel Control Part 2, like Vessel Control and all my other works, is not plagiarized, is not AI, is not, anything untoward. They're all from here, from my mind, from my brain. All thoughts, including my brain. See, here we go. I might have to go to a 2-hour show or something like that. Maybe people come off at a certain time. I got 3 likes, 1 person watching. Frequent. Here's Riles. Thank you, Riles. Salute to Riles. Salute to Riles. He's adding the dropping the obligatory 100. And then he's going to go away and it's going to be 0 again. 3 likes, 0 viewers right now. But it's accumulated, I think, 4. I think if I have the count right. But it should be like 40 or 50. That's what's so wild. But hey, it's for the art, it's for the show, it's for the work. It's to elevate, it's to create. It's spooky out here. My concepts are purposely irrational now. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, Rouse. What are you talking about? It's spooky out here. My concepts are purposely irrational now. What are you talking about? Make sure you tell like 6 people about me, but don't tell 7. Just let the 7th person wonder, who is that goofy nigga with the black hat and the black shirt and the gold tie? Yeah, so. Oh, the AI bubble. Oh, okay. AI bubble. Got you. Yeah, it's something special. It is spooky. It's real spooky. And I don't know what teachers are doing. Teachers are going into a frenzy. They have to be. I haven't heard too much, commotion with Chat GPT and different makers, and they're like, okay, they're not, a work, but they'll get the information out. I mean, they have an understanding. Okay, Roz, you're a writer too, so we need to get together and have some kind of a co-writing or something like that on a movie or something like that. That'd be cool. We have to get together. You're a writer too. That's awesome. So, it just galls me, that moment, when she asked me, I was like, did you write this? I'm like, what the hell? Like, what? I was a Christian at the time. Like I said, I was meek, modest, and humble, and I didn't have it in me to say, be out, call her out of her name, and say, did you write it? Like, you want beef? Like, well, that wouldn't have been objective. But if I just said something like, well, if I didn't write it, who did? Like, that would have been great. That would have been poignant and purposeful and to the point and honest. But I didn't have, the backing. I didn't have the moral support that I now have for objectivism. Hell yeah, 100 is your email on your page. Yes, it is. It's on the live chat. It's in this live chat. I think, yeah, wait, hold on. It was. Hell, I'll send it right now. Yeah, it is. Advertising and sponsorship. Scroll up to advertising and sponsorship, and go to scholarsaunders@gmail.com. So definitely got to check out the story. I just have a few things. I know it's 8 o'clock now, but I'm still in this. See what my stats are. So that's bet. I look forward to working with you, Chief. Yeah, salute, Ross, salute. Yeah, we can make some great art. We can make some good good stories. Come together on that. That'd be great. Have a symposium, as they say. A writer symposium. That'd be awesome. But yeah. So it's definitely a wonderful ideal to behold that, to understand that, to know that you can do something. And you have, I mean, that's the serious thing. Some people are multi-faceted. They wear many hats, like Master P comes to mind. He was in the NBA for I think an exhibition game. He's a rapper, a producer, a writer, a director, an actor. He lived the life of like 10 niggas. Like seriously. So he's one of the few people that can say they had multiple lives. My nerd ass excited. Yeah. The nerdiness comes out. The nerdiness comes out. Nothing wrong with being a nerd. And you know what NERD stands for, right? Nerd. What does NERD stand for, Rouse? You know? You can look it up. Even if you look it on the internet, just type it in. What does NERD stand for? Just I got time. It's four likes in here. Two people watching. I mean, the later it gets, the more people I have. That's the cost. But yeah, so Rick James, Night Eagle Redemption District. Salute to you, sir. Salute to Rick James. Coming in here. This is weird to me. I have two people in here. Ladies and gentlemen, written the best story since sliced bread. Gentleman. His name is Skylar Saunders. Sees. It's seeing. It's seeing, my friend. You'll get it right one day, but I'm not mad at you. Salute. No one ever really died. Exactly. That's it, Ross. No one ever really dies. And it goes by the Marine Corps, United States Marine Corps. Born to fight, trained to kill, ready to die, but never will. That's the spirit you have to have. That's what's so wonderful about this country. We have armed forces that says is known for bloody battles and people dying and people being killed. They say you're born to fight, trained to kill, ready to die, but never will. Ready to die like Biggie, but you never will. You will never die. Your legend, your everything that you create in this world, you've left an indelible mark on this world, so you can never really die. Wait a minute, when were you on the dust? If you were going to rehab, I thought you were going to rehab for the dust. What's happening? Rick James says that story, man. I need to read it again because I was on the dust. But what a jury! I don't know what a jury is. Read it last night on dust. I try to limit my intake. That's beautiful, for real. It's a true story. Journey. There it is. Journey, sir. Yes, I got you. Okay. So I got people in the room now. I'll go for 2 hours. I'll go another few minutes, 56 minutes, whatever, until I have to take my drugs. Then I got to get the hell out of here. Yeah. So yeah, read it again. When you're not on that angel dust, that ashy Larry. What drugs am I taking? PCP? No, not PCP. Olanzapine, lithium, trazodone. What is there's another one. Omeprazole, lysine, L-lysine, not Xanax, not benzo. No, not clonazepam. I think is a benzo. I take clonazepam. They call it Klonopin. That's the the brand name. And Zyprexa is the yeah, I know, damn, I know. And Zyprexa is the damn. Ross is getting riled up. Do you see what I did there? They mess with your memory though. Yeah, that's why I take walnuts. I take natural stuff, and I eat sardines. Sardines and walnuts have omega-3s that help out your brain and heart. So it's always a good thing. Bro's a walking science experiment. I'm not your bro, Ross, but I understand what you're saying, sir. Yeah, I'm a walking science. Not on the grill, and you missed it. I do the advertising at the beginning of the show now, so you have to save your R. Kellys and your ditties and sea moss and gummies and all that. You have to save them, or go to the top of the page and actually interact with those different sites. But yeah, so I appreciate it. I appreciate 2 people in here right now. This is truth. This is reality. This is what it is. I'm waiting for the day where it's 2.2 million people in here right now. That day may come. I'm going to fight for it. This is the whole point. You got to stay in the trenches until it's time to come up and you're ready to get down for your crown. Try L-theanine GABA subs. That's for memory, Riles? Is that for memory? And I hate this goddamn heart. This goddamn heart is in the way. I can't even read what you're saying. I don't know how to get rid of it. There was one time I got rid of it, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know what you have to do. Now you guys are hitting it. Okay. Great. Wonderful. I like my sardines on the grill with bear beer. I don't know what bear beer is. And there's 5 likes with 2 people in here. So some people are coming in and just are dropping their obligatory likes like Riles usually does. Oh, near beer. See, you got to get your spelling correct. I don't know what you're saying until say. I thought that was a brand bear beer. I see 6 characters in the room. Oh well, I don't see that at all. I see 2. I see 2 people in here. You might be looking at the likes. There's 5 likes. I see two people watching and 5 likes. But yeah, I got that idea from the biography of August Wilson. If you don't know who August Wilson is, go Google. Get your Google on, get your Bing on, get your Yahoo on, Ask Jeeves, whatever you got to do. Yeah, sort of. It's a cognitive cocktail. Sir, any plans on going to the See Orphan Annie show again? You still remember that? That's good. That's memory. That's good memory, Rick James. I don't think I'll see it again, but it was a good show. They put on a great show. I'm not like, so I understand it. I understand they have to make money. So musicals make money. They're American invention. It's like, I get it. You have to make money in the theater because you'll go broke. and dramas and certain comedies don't bring in that much money, to be honest. Helps elasticity a lot. Okay. All right. But yeah, so I don't hate musicals because I actually like musicals. I enjoy them. I saw Rent once. Um Annie, of course, we were just talking about that, and Sister Act. I love them. I didn't have a problem with any of them. I just would rather see, Arthur Miller and Tennessee Williams and um, Eugene O'Neill and August Wilson for America, and then across in the board, Ibsen, Steinberg, and Chekhov. No, Whoopi wasn't in the Sister Act musical, the one that I went to. The Peter and Tweeter show. Oh, Jesus Christ. Rick James, in his recommendations, Peter and Tweeter show. Oh my, this looks like creep. This creep, weird public access TV. How do you find these shows? Look, Sister Who comes up. Sister Who came up. Oh my God, this is just I don't know what you do. What do you do? Did somebody send you this stuff, Rick James? Did somebody send you this stuff, Rick James? Shaquille O'Neal? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean with Shaquille O'Neal. What are we talking about with Shaquille O'Neal? I watched them, sir, in the television set. I know, but how did you find out about them? Like, what did you just scour? The different public access TV shows. There was once the Star and Buck Wild show on the it was Universal Player Haters in like 99 to 99, 98 to 99. He had like 100,000 viewers. People that these are like hardcore TV shows back in the 90s, not like on TV shows on or shows on the internet or streams or anything. This is hardcore New York City, 100,000 viewers. That's really strong if you look at it. They had to come on at a certain hour because it was mainly just them ranking on people and drinking booze. It was great. Rick James says, they show up on my antenna TV. I don't have cable no more for a day. Well, they're from public access TVs, access channels from all across the country. You have to know more. I know you're bullshitting me right now. I know it. I know you're bullshitting. I know when you're bullshitting, Rick James, but I understand. The plan is to show you that I understand. You are appreciated. But yeah, so definitely go out and pick up August Wilson, A Life by Patty Hartigan. I just finished it a few days ago. Excellent. Like, I was reading some of the reviews. I'm like, what? You get a wealth of knowledge. You get a great background and understanding. I liked it. I enjoyed it. And right now I'm rereading Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead, which is a treasure. Much like August Wilson's Treasures, his cycle of 10 plays, one for each decade of the African American experience, and it is just tremendous. It's monumental. No BS. It's public access television on my antenna TV channel. Okay. When will you be making an appearance on Rachel's Ghost again, sir? I don't think I ever will. I don't think I will because I feel invited and I feel welcome, but I don't think it's not fair for me to say, hey, look, read my story. I know you guys are into music and the Beatles especially, but read my story. Read my story. It'll get tired after a while. It'll get tired. So I wouldn't have anything to contribute. I'm a complete, I'm not in rock and roll like that. I love classic rock, but I don't know all the figures. I don't know the engineer and the producer and if they had a tambourine or I don't even know all that stuff. So When will we be making an okay? I think they like it. Yeah, they may like it, but not the stories. They like me. They're cool with me. I'm cool with them, but I can't hold weight against them. I don't know all the ins and outs of rock and roll music, and they do. So, like if they're like, for an instance, I would say Hendrix is the greatest guitarist, and okay, who's number two? I would have to consult, Rolling Stone magazine, something like that. Okay, Rachel's a big MAGA head. Yeah, I doubt that. The way she was talking about Trump, a big MAGA head. Number two is Bucket. Good point. Yes, Buckethead. Yeah, he has the KFC bucket on his head and the mask or something like that, and he can play. That's a bad dude. That dude can play some guitar. She is, sir. She's some Trump supporter. I don't remember her being a Trump supporter. I remember her being against Trump. I can't remember her being for Trump. Maybe she changed her mind since I last seen her. Okay, I'll take your word for it, sir. I'll take your word for it. But I just remember from my recollection that she despised former President Donald Trump. She wears the MAGA hat every show. But is it ironic? I don't know if she's being sarcastic. I can't tell. I can't tell if she's being ironic or not. I watch the show with my morning cup of tea. I bet you do. See, this is what I'm talking about, Rick James. This is what I was saying. I could have one viewer that I can see. It could be different for you, but I can see 5 likes and 1 viewer, and you are that 1 viewer. So I appreciate you, sir. When there's nobody else around, nobody here, you've told many people about my show. They don't really follow through. Sometimes they came through, like your girlfriend. She'll come through once sometimes. But and of course we have who that comes through, and you quietly sit him down. So I understand it. I get it. I get it. I appreciate you. You see 3 characters. Yeah, I see one. I see one. I'll never know who's right, because at the end it's gonna be like 11. It's gonna be like maybe like 10. It'll be like 9 or 10. Shy people in the room today. Yeah, it seems like it. Seems very shy. Where's Angie? Where is Angie? Where is Courtney? Where is God Chelsea with her glasses on? I have no idea where my female audience is. I have no clue. I haven't spoken to. Thank you, Marcellus, with the the Saturday Night Fever. Where is it? I don't know where they are. I have no idea. No clue. They say, forget that nigga. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't about nothing. That's what they said. So, all right. I got whatever money I could out of them. I appreciate that. I appreciate their viewership. I got whatever views I could out of them. I'm just doing my thing. And that's the thing with Hype. I could pretty much bank on $100 a month at least. And that's like a bill. And Height, definitely represents every month. Or if not full $100, he gave me $70 last month, and then bam, I think it was the 1st of August, he dropped $100 on my head. So he ran their pockets. Yeah. I didn't really run their pockets. If I ran their pockets, I would have like $10,000 or $20,000 right now. That's running their pockets. I have about a little over $1,000. Have maybe $1,200 from my contributions to this show. So if we have come to an impasse, we've come to a crossroads. We're like boys and men at the end of the road. So I want to thank, of course, Mr. Riles, and of course, I'd like to thank Rick James, one of the truest, realest people in the world right now. I appreciate you, sir. Salute. And I would say thank you very much again, and take care.